morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, August 29th, I believe. I could be wrong with the date. My name is Rachel. I am a certified health coach as well as a registered medical assistant. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just giving you experiences of things that I have come across with my patients, or things that I do with my family, and I just want to help people get into a healthier state of mind, body, soul. I feel like a lot of times people think like alternative health or seeing a functional medicine doctor is just out of their reach. A lot of places don't necessarily have those kind of doctors or practitioners in their area, and a lot of times it can be really expensive to see. So my goal here is to kind of help people see that there are things that we can incorporate in our lives ourselves. We can take back control of our health, take back control of our body, by being aware of what we need as individuals. I work a lot with cancer patients or newly diagnosed cancer patients, as well as people that have maybe been diagnosed with diabetes or hypertension, and they necessarily don't want to start on medication. They want to see what they can do holistically to change their diet, to see if they can help reverse some of the things that they're dealing with. And typically when a person is really motivated, they can reverse like whatever's going on simply by changing what they're putting in their body, taking some supplements to bridge the gap until like their body gets back to a healthier state. Sorry, I'm driving and the sun's shining in my eyes and I'm trying to see. So that's kind of where I come in. I go into people's homes, I see what they're eating, I see what kind of chemicals they're using in their house, because those can be something that really affect our immune function if we're overexposed to chemicals. So I just go in as a person from the outside and look and see what I can do to help them change without completely changing their life all at once. So I kind of transition into things. I try to make things easier. I start with just asking, okay, like what are you eating? Like what does your typical day look like? How often are you eating? What are you eating? Because I typically start a patient with fasting. Fasting is free. It helps cut out on your food budget because you're eating less. And typically if you can do it in a family, it just makes it more fun, I guess. For a lot of people, people like to have support. So if your family members are willing to jump in and join you, then that always makes it easier. But I feel like that's the foundation to health. Like what we're putting in our body as far as nutrition is the number one thing for health. If we're constantly eating sugar and processed foods and hyper processed grains, like that is just adulterating our immune function. So we have to get back to the basics. When I was a kid, we had 3 meals a day. We didn't typically snack. We didn't eat a ton of processed food. I don't think we had like a ton of processed food, not the way it is now. I don't remember ever seeing a label for organic food because I feel like you didn't need it because things weren't genetically modified, things weren't full of pesticides and herbicides and Roundup. We didn't have high fructose corn syrup. So we didn't really have the issues that we have now in this day and age. And I see it with my kids, I see it with my grandchildren. Just how food can really affect like how they feel, and especially with my clients. And people don't even realize it. People don't really understand how much sugar they're eating and how inflammatory sugar is. So that's the number one place that I start is like, what are we eating? Are you eating a bunch of processed foods? And if so, let's start to wean off of those things. Let's start drinking more water. Let's get some good electrolytes in your system, and let's start to fast. Fasting is so powerful. Like our bodies have the wonderful ability to heal themselves. We just got to get out of their way, or get out of the way in order for our body to do that. And one of the best ways to do that is by fasting, and fasting for as long as you can. You don't have to do a marathon fast when you first start fasting. Fasting 14 hours can be phenomenal for our bodies, like giving our bodies a break once in a while. So that's what I typically do. I have people start fasting 12, 14, 15 hours a day. After the first week, I'm like, okay, like see if you can go a little bit longer. See if you can go a little bit longer. And I always recommend like a fasting app. I think it's called Life, just because you can see, okay, this is where I am, this is what my body is doing, and this is how much longer I have to go. You can also like create groups, so you can get like friends and family members to join in, and you guys can kind of compete. A lot of people like to compete. I'm super competitive, so I like to feel like I compete, and it makes me like push myself harder. So there's different things that we can do. I just think we really need to get back to the core of like what is health, and give our bodies a break and realize like our bodies can heal themselves on a cellular level. They absolutely can. I see it time and time again. People that are motivated and people that really want to get to a better state, just not just physically, mentally, spiritually. Fasting helps with all those things. So I'm going to do a series on fasting, and I'm also going to do a series on peptides. I'm just trying to figure out things and organize my thoughts, because I tend to be like all over the place. But we can do this. We can get to a healthier state of mind, and we don't have to spend $1,000 a month on supplements, or even that much money on food. There's definitely ways that we can incorporate these things into our daily lifestyle. And a lot of times we can slip this stuff in if we have kids, and they won't even know. Kids are very malleable. So like if you start to slowly change things, a lot of times they won't even realize it. And before you know it, it's just habit. But I feel like, especially coming into this cold and flu season, we really need to do things to boost our immune system. We really need to be healthy mentally, physically. So there's things that we can do. These are just some of my thoughts. Maybe I'm kind of rambling, but if you have any questions, if you want any more information, just leave a comment below, and I will answer all comments. Again, I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Just trying to give some things, some pointers as to what has worked for me, what has worked for my clients, what I do for myself. So please feel free to comment. Have a good day.